Public speaking. It's one of those things that some people love and most people find really difficult. So what's the right balance to strike between being spontaneous with what you're saying and being prepared? My name is Lily from Teleprompter.com, and today we're going to explore the advantages and the disadvantages of spontaneity in public speaking. So let's look first at some of the positives. Using spontaneity in public speaking has the benefit of allowing you to be authentic and to really connect with your audiences. People can tell when you're not just reading something from memory, and so it feels relatable. It allows your audience to know that you're present with them and you're coming up with something on the spot. Another advantage of spontaneity in public speaking is flexibility. Let's say you're giving a talk live in front of an audience. If you're speaking spontaneously, you can respond to what comes up. Let's say the audience really laugh at a joke that you've just told. Maybe you decide to pause, you decide to work with it a little bit more and really connect with the audience of what they've appreciated. If you are working from a script, that might trip you up and you think, I have to keep going. I can't pause and stop and connect with my audience. Another positive element of spontaneity in public speaking is that it allows for creativity. When we're in the moment, eye to eye with an audience and we feel our adrenaline flowing, sometimes there are things that we couldn't have imagined that enter into our speech. We're able to bring in new stories and actually see what's truly alive for us in the moment and bring that forward and out. So those are some of the positive benefits of spontaneity when public speaking. There are, of course, some disadvantages. The first disadvantage would be a lack of preparation. Often people script their speeches because they want to feel like they know what they're going to say, when they're going to say it, and how it's going to sound. When you remove that preparation, you might find yourself caught for words at different times, or perhaps not saying exactly what you intended to. This leads to another challenging part when speaking spontaneously, and that's the potential for errors. When you're speaking off the cuff, you might find that you make a mistake. Sometimes in that moment, people freeze. They realize they've made an error, they panic, their eyes get big, and maybe they stare at their audience. However, if this ever does happen, the best thing is just to keep going. But we want to be mindful that if we're speaking spontaneously and we do make an error, sometimes that can lead to a lack of credibility, where our audience thinks, does this person really know what they're talking about? A final disadvantage to consider with speaking spontaneously is that it's not always so easy to control the timing and structure of what you're saying. When you are prepared, you know how much time each section needs in order to get your point across. When you're going off the cuff, you might find yourself heading off on a tangent you didn't expect, or your audience might lose interest. I'm sure all of us had that teacher that would go off and tell a story that didn't connect to anything about the topic at hand, and all the students were sitting there wondering when they were going to come back on topic. So, as you can see, there's positives and negatives to speaking spontaneously when public speaking. As a storyteller, what I really like is the balance of both. We call it the bones of the story. We have the key points outlined, so we know where our story is heading, but we allow ourselves flexibility to make up the exact words that connects us between them. Let's say you want to experiment with bringing some more spontaneity into your content creation. You're going to be making a video for a social media channel. What you might do is pick 3 key topics that you want to speak about. You might have them written down on a postcard so you know that that sentence or that element you're certainly going to say. But then you allow yourself the liberty to speak around it. Perhaps you want to introduce your product, you want to talk about the key features and benefits, and then you want to give a testimonial. This allows you to hit those key points and then also bring in any extra elements that come to you whilst you're sharing. Understanding the balance of spontaneity to preparedness is really up to your comfort levels. But what I can definitely suggest is experimenting, practicing. Try once going completely off the cuff and try once with something fully scripted. And then you can find somewhere in the middle that feels good to you, that allows your content to shine, to feel authentic, but also say what you need to say. If you have a public speaking event coming up, one piece of advice I'd like to give to you is to think about the key message you'd like people to walk away with and the key emotion you'd like them to feel. That way, you can make sure to integrate the different elements to make sure that your message gets across and that your audience goes on a journey with you. If you want to learn more topics like this, make sure to like, to follow, and to subscribe to this channel.